Welcome to the Church of Mabus radio show. Change out this freaking banner.
The previous show.
You're listening to United Public Radio, 107.7 FM New Orleans. Okay, I do have a Mabus banner. There we go.
There it is.
There's not a guest tonight, so it's Jay McNicholas with us here. And good to have Jay here. The guests had to work or something. There's always just been BS with the schedule lately. Like just crap, weird crap. But next week is Trisha Corey, Syrian Revelations. I have a bunch of her
cool.
I've interviewed her before a long time ago. And then Augie Nost. So you'll be here for those. That's good. Augie Nost. I think it's like the third time of Augie on the show. He'll be here on the 9th or something, whatever, the third week. We just had Christina on. That was a good show. Christina Giordano, Lamb. And then before that, we had Neil Donald Walsh. That was one of the bigger shows I've done in a while, and that was really good. It was an hour, but it was good. And international bestseller, Neil Donald Walsh. Go from homelessness to international bestseller. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But he thanked us for the show, and for the service of raising consciousness. So it's like a God upgrade, thanking you. Not to say he's God, but he's certainly a conduit for the universe. So it's like the universe saying thank you. So that was pretty cool. And Wham on the second hour, a lot of Norse on that show. And then before that was Eric. That was the Trumplegooch Mabus Antichrist show. Pretty compelling, crazy if you want to backpedal in the archives. And then let's see here. What's been going on? I've been watching These Haunted Woods on These Woods Are Haunted on HBO. It's good stoner paranormal stuff. Just people telling stories. Like somebody in an RV hit a werewolf. I don't know if they're true. I mean, they could be, but I always have some discernment with that kind of
There's some weird shows out there in the video sticks. Like Roku has one called UFO Cowboys, and I saw the title for it. I thought it was like a crappy offshoot of the movie Cowboys and Aliens, but apparently it's a TV show where these cowboy dudes go UFOing, hunting for UFOs, and there's one like night vision. The guy, I think he just trips and falls, but they're like walking through a cornfield, and they make it look like someone snatches them off camera. So I'm thinking, falsified drama. Looks really cheesy. You heard of it?
I saw a little ad for it, but I never watched it. I mean, I
haven't seen it. It looks cheesy.
Yeah, a lot of that Roku stuff I'm hesitant to watch, but I don't think I've ever watched anything they kind of recommend with their little ads or whatever. But Tubi has a good Bigfoot and werewolf and dogman stuff. There's a good one on there, native Bigfoot that was pretty good. A native Bigfoot show with that Kathy Moskowitz Strange. She wrote a lot of stuff about folklore, natives, and Bigfoot. That was pretty fun. There's some fun stuff to watch on there. The ads aren't too bad, so. But These Haunted Woods is just some stonerware stuff kind of to check out if you're bored or something. It's fun, but Tubi has a lot of werewolf good stuff. And there's people on the Small Town Monsters. A lot of those are on there, those documentaries from Seth Breedlove and all them. But there's some guy that said he saw a werewolf and peed his pants, and they had his face blacked out on one of their documentaries. A dog man. But I think there's something to that. I don't know exactly what it is, but I think there's something to it. But I don't, to know what it is, or if it's physical or paranormal or both, or what it is. But I mean, those dog-headed creatures have been around since Egyptian times. There's obviously a reason why some of their gods look like that. Plus, you got Linda Godfrey that studied that kind of stuff all her life. She's passed now, but the Beast of Bray Road, that one sheriff office that keeps all the stories of the call-ins about the wolves. They said the wolfman or whatever there. There's activity like that, but I don't know what it is. But what's all that crazy noise? Is that you? Sound like someone going up the stairs.
You know, you might be able to hear. You might be hearing my dog bark, but
no, I heard a lot of. It was like something tap dancing on the microphone.
I don't know.
It was very weird. Diane's not under there, is she? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But no, it was weird. It was like I'm hearing it right now. Hold on.
Might be my keyboard. How about this? Can you hear it?
I think that's what it was, but it was louder the last time.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's my keyboard.
Just like it's probably hearing your keyboard for some reason, but it's not as bad right now. But it was like really weird loud. But the Godzilla show was pretty good. Monarch. I only got Apple because it was free from PlayStation for 6 months, but I let us finish that at least. But it wasn't bad. Kurt Russell was on it, and his son played him in the past, Wyatt Russell or whatever, and then Kurt's him in the future. Needed more Godzilla. There was some Godzilla, but not. There's other creatures like weird bugs and stuff. You're like, we need more Godzilla. But it's okay to watch. It wasn't the best thing ever or anything. It hasn't really been that much of anything that exciting. Oh, I've been watching the Ted show, the new with the teddy bear.
Oh, yeah, I've seen the tile for it. I haven't checked it out yet. Is it good?
It's not bad. I saw the first episode, but we got to finish the rest. I'm not like in a hurry or anything to finish it. But it's good stonerware. Stonerware, everybody. We got who's leaving a comment? Oh, we got Mark Eddy out there tonight. There's no guest, Mark Eddy. Our guest ejected. So any questions pop up, you let us know. But right now we're just free balling. But I saw Bone Tomahawk. That's pretty good. You ever see that?
No.
It's a Weird West with Kurt Russell, a Western, and in it, there's these cannibals, and Sid Haig, the clown from House of 1,000 Corpses, he's in it shortly. David Arquette.
I know who Sid Haig is.
And who else? Patrick Wilson, I think, the guy from the Conjuring movies. I think that's his name. There's a bunch of people in it, but basically it's a Weird West, and there's cannibals.
Patrick Wilson was in that comic movie too.
I think that's who it is. Let me look. Yeah. Patrick Wilson. I know him. Yeah, that's him. He's in it. But crazy tribe of like, they call them troglodytes, and it's like just this crazy, weird. The natives won't even go near them, but they like they'll eat you.
It's very much like H.G. Wells' novel where the guy in the time machine, the guy goes forward in time and he is attacked by these things called troglodytes, like in the year 2069 or something like that.
These things blind the women, amputate their limbs. They blind their women and amputate their limbs and keep them there for birth sacs.
Well, I don't know about that. I didn't read the H.G. Wells version, but yeah,
talking about Bone Tomahawk.
Wow.
The movie.
No, that sounds pretty brutal. It's a movie.
Yeah, it's on Hulu. Kurt Russell's the dude in it. The main dude.
Cool. I might have to check that out. That sounds pretty good.
Did you ever see Leave the World Behind?
No.
Oh, okay. That was that weird ass one on Netflix that Obama and them produced, and it was Julia Roberts.
Obama?
Yeah, executive producer Michelle Obama. But get this, all the little right-wing Dardar places are going crazy over it because it's really weird. It's a really strange movie based on some book where animals start going crazy, frequencies go through and make your teeth fall out. It's the end of the world. It's basically like rogue forces of the government have taken over the government. It's like a complete crazy, weird-ass apocalypse movie. You're like, what the hell? And then it's more creepy because it's got that Obama stamp on it. So it's really weird.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be watching that.
One of the weirder movies I've seen. Got some pretty woman, Julia Roberts, in it. Pretty woman.
Yeah, but Michelle Obama, it annoys me so much. I don't think I could stand watching anything she had a hand in dealing with.
Yeah, it's definitely weird. It's not anything I'd watch again anytime soon.
Yeah. I mean, one of the first things the lady said, as the first lady, was that she got on, national television, like on the, when they inaugurated him, that after his speech, and she says, "America, your children are fat." So those are her exact words. Like the first word she says to the country, "America, your children are fat."
Yeah. Well,
Oh, it's a menace.
I hear she's got a little pea pud.
I understand her original name was Michael, not Michelle.
Let's get something straight about politics, folks. I don't like any
We
of them.
hate it.
I don't like any of them. I walk past the
We
TV.
hate it.
I walked past the TV and it said on MSNBC, Republican Party embraces fascism. I'm like in an alternate reality now. That's like, what's that? The Man in the High Castle.
Wait a minute. Now, which government was it that allowed Nazi criminals to have their criminal war records quashed by the U.S. State attorney? Or does not know about this? I mean, the Democratic Party was probably in charge back then. I'm not really sure, but we let in 200 some odd Nazi, not just Nazi collaborators, but guys with like actual war crime type, bad stuff behind them. You could put them in jail for.
They brought them in Operation Paperclip, right?
Yes, I know.
But they all suck. None of them do anything for me. None of them on either side. What do they do for me? Not a damn thing. So they can all kiss my ass. You think I'm going to go goo goo gaga and start wanking one of them off when they ain't doing nothing for me to begin with? They can all kiss my ass and burn in hell. They don't care about people like me. They don't care about anybody. And I'm people that suffered from PTSD from crazy alien or black ops or whatever the hell you want to call it. All of the above, probably. Mine's not as bad as some people. I think some people have been actually kidnapped and taken. Luckily, they threw me back probably because I had one nut or something. So
we're also unfortunately we're paying almost nearly double the amount of gas per gallon than when I started driving in the late 80s.
And then when I went to I got caught up with some friends in high school when I was going to join the Army volunteers. What a moron. I don't know. Now I'm like, you stupid ass. Thank God you didn't. But I went through MEPS or whatever, and they found out something was wrong with me. And then I went to a doctor, and that's when all the cancer crap happened. But the Marines had me, or the recruiting center had me scratched out of their book as dead. A friend told me in their little yearbook, because I guess they found out I had cancer, and they're like, dead. That's
pretty yeah.
But and I've had a lot of UFO stuff and seen governmental vehicles show up over my house, mocking me, waving at me and shooting off. They don't care about any of us. It's all a joke to them. It's just look at that Greg Bishop, Paul Benowitz story about the guy in Project Beta. The guy that's his book. I haven't had Greg on in a long time. He's kind of a little prick now. But weird stuff with his group and Andy and him fighting and stuff. So I get caught up in it because I'm just guilt by association.
Was he the guy that produced like those TV shows? Like
he did some movies, Mirage Men, or was in them or something, but I don't know if he's done anything like that.
I think I just saw an early interview with him on
Glasses?
Roku. Huh?
Yeah, glasses. Like
no, he did not. He did not have glasses.
And for some reason on Facebook, I've tried to post in it, and he will not okay my post and let me post in it at all. But he wants to keep me on his friends list. I've interviewed him several times, but it's just weird little clicky stuff I have to deal with morons all the time like that. That's just weird. Like I'll have a friend that gets in a fight with someone, so just because I know said friend, I'm like, in the game that they hate automatically or something.
You get banned by association.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't even know what the hell's happening. So I just, just tell them to kiss my arse with their bull crap. But anywho, I see all this, I got to work in the right-wing sector of craziness. I have to see it every day. I have to post it to people. I hate it. And even the person that runs the place is ripping me off right now. It's like, Jesus loves you, Trump loves you, but I owe you $4,000, and now we're going to mess with your regular pay and start trying to give you bonuses because he's caught up in a lawsuit with an African prince over some weird crap he does. And he's been using the money that the site generates to pay the African prince court battle. So guess who's been suffering? Us. He owes me like $4,000. Then he started last month trying to make little small payments on regular pay. So I'm all screwed up and having to look for more work, and maybe regular pay will straighten out, but you still owe me $4,000. But anyway, it's one of those situations where you're like, God, please get rid of me, but I need to find something else, because I have to look at right-wing extreme news every day. I share other stuff there, but that's the crap that everybody wanks off to there, that Q stuff and all this just kiss butt stuff. Just all they want to see is their own opinion glorified and impersonified and backed up. They don't want any, alternative news that counteracts any of it. They just want their own breakfast cereal that kisses their ass every day. And I have to throw it to the sharks every day. So I bring about 2 million hits there a month. So it's just a job that you grow to hate after a while. That's the point I'm at. And I have to see it. And I saw when the big C virus went through there, a lot of those people died. And I was like, I couldn't even find content. So many of them croaked. And a lot of them were up there railing against the C and the V, and they were speaking out against it and saying it's crap. And the next thing you know, I saw them die. Robert David Steele, former CIA, who came on the show for some manifesto he wrote or something before Trump, but he went pro-Trump crazy, like extreme, and was like doing rallies and crap, and then he died. Rob Skiba, some flat earth guy, Russ Dysdar, The Black Awakening, which is some crazy book about satanic serial killer cells in America. A lot of people, Thurston W., friend of Roseanne, this lady from an Asian lady. I could go on and on, but there's others, but I just can't think of them right now. But just saw a lot of those personalities croak, and I know because their channels vanished and they croaked. Tom Horn passed away recently too, but I don't know if that was COVID or not. Angela Joyner and her husband that used to be on the network in Texas, Stevensville, they both died during that. So they were both on the net. I mean, Angela Joyner was on the network. I interviewed her, and she croaked from the big C, and so did her husband. There's a lot of weird stories like that. Crazy stuff like that. But anyway, you see that crap every day and you just hate it all. I mean, there's even some crazy guy called Marines Against Tyranny there that goes around saying I'm an Israeli agent and threatens to murder me just because of right-wing videos I share there, and he's right-wing. There's so many complexities and weird levels to it. Like nationalism's there, that's weird. And I guess that's what some of them are considering fascism on some level, the white nationalism. And then there's like the lesser levels of just, oh, I'm a Republican, I voted for Trump, just normal whatever people. Then there's like all these other like there's weird like right-wing extremists who are Christian, I guess, but they hate Jewish people. That's there. And it's weird. Like I thought if you're Christian, you're supposed to like back them up and stuff.
There's been several crusade wars, Jews against Christians. So I mean, that's not surprising.
Yeah, and I just have to see this stuff every day, and it's toxic and disgusting, and it's just gross. But now the whole border thing is getting crazy. It's saying a lot of Chinese are coming through it, and basically it's like they're amping up that basically an invasion's about to come through the borders. Which I mean, that could be true. I don't know. It's possible.
I would not be surprised if there's a fifth column of trained soldiers that have gotten into this country through that. I'd be surprised that we hear that more of them came through Canada, which is probably where a lot of them did come through, because there is a lot of focus on the southern border. No one really looks to the northern border. But I mean, look at it. There's how many Great Lakes are there? 5, 6 Great Lakes.
Yeah.
Think about that. You go to Canada, you get on a boat, boom, you're in America without having to cross any checkpoint. You can't swim it; it's too damn cold and too deep. But you can get across with a boat.
Yeah, I saw something about like Chinese ones have increased going through. Like why are Chinese people coming through South America? Like, is that normal?
We've said it before. If you're of Muslim background, you can shave your beard and face to not have it shaggy, and wear local colloquial clothing from Mexico, and you could pass as a Mexican, no problem.
It wouldn't surprise me. I think Democrats are a little stupid with that kind of stuff, or a lot stupid, but a little too free. Oh, we love all races. Come on through. Want to come in and get your newspaper money, Bobby? Come on in. Now they're gonna kill us all probably. So, but and then what else? Of course, the World War III stuff has reached new levels. What's up? Like, what's up with Putin? Like, Switzerland? I mean, not Switzerland. Sweden seems threatened and warning their citizens, and then the Baltic states. Like, they say he's kind of acting like he may attack them, or maybe he's just trying to act like he is to flex his little penile. And but I mean, he can't even beat Ukraine. So I mean, how's he going to start invading all these other places? Where's he getting soldiers? Is he cloning them? Like
Hitler could have won World War II if he hadn't attacked Russia. So I mean, that's the same thing we got going on here. Putin's not going to enjoy life if he attacks any other country but Ukraine. So at the moment we're okay. But if he goes into Switzerland, boom, he will activate NATO. Yeah, that'll be it. World War III will have started that.
Sweden's trying to be in NATO, but they haven't been accepted yet, or whatever. But Sweden ain't.
Well, either way, I think they're close enough to a NATO country that if they do get attacked, I don't think we'll be too long after that. We'll be in on this fight.
Well, once it happens, it's going to be, going to accelerate the nukes at some point. Even little Kim Jong-un's trying to act like he's going to do some crap now. Everybody's just got a firecracker up their arse. It's like, are you that bored? Try to clean up the oceans or something, you jerk off. Try to flex your little nukes. But I'm just tired of all of it. And, I mean, I don't know. The thing, the media on the left always overglorifies stuff, but I mean, Trump has been saying some weird stuff about vermin and weird stuff. It's like he's trying to quote some of these people on some level. I mean, he obviously, then he's like, oh, quote Hitler. Oh, I didn't know that. But yeah, you saw that vermin word somewhere at History Channel while you're making a PP tape, maybe late at night. Something made you say vermin. Vermin's not a word. That's like a Nosferatu word you throw around. It's not a word that I don't know if I've heard any political people in the modern age use that word, except him. But maybe in other countries, not ours.
Yeah.
But they can just all kiss my arse. I don't like any of them. If you're going to do something for me, I have 0 cents right now because of the Trumplegooch Christian who's gone nuts at my job. Yeah. So why don't you write me a check? I don't care about you. If you don't care about me, you don't even know who I am. So that's all. I don't care. We're all gonna die. Kiss your ass goodbye. That's the way it's headed. Anyway. But anywho, Tushapur is pretty cool. That should be some weird space stuff. Augie Nos is always a trip. If there's anything in particular you want to talk to him about, let me know. Please ask him. I told him a few things, but.
No, I totally agree with you on that front. That I don't like what Russia's been doing. We got to keep an eye on that. Then we have the actions going on down in the Middle East with Israel and Hezbollah and Hamas. Either one of those two situations, if somebody does the wrong thing, either one could spark off World War III. So, what is that clock we have? They call it the doomsday clock. Like midnight, it's over. Right now, I think we're at 11 hours and 59 seconds, which is pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that doomsday clock. Was it like that 2 seconds till now? What's that? It's like close. Hell, I'm just at the point. Just get it over with if you're gonna do it. That's the worst that's gonna happen. You're gonna die. That's what's gonna happen anyway. So just go ahead and do it, you little shitbirds. You little cockadoodie shitbirds. Just go ahead and do it. Do it. Drop a nuke. I don't want it to happen, but I'm sick of hearing about it. But the border thing, that definitely seems crazy as hell. I know Texas and all these states are wrapping it up about taking it more serious and all this stuff, right? Some coalition started about the border with the red states.
I hadn't heard about that. What was the coalition about? To build a wall again, or what?
Let me look. I put it up earlier. Let me see.
Because to build a wall is just not feasible.
Let me find it. Texas calls on private citizens to help defend border with razor wire amid Civil War escalation. Where's the one I put up? I know it's here. I'm just moving slow. Let's see. It's heating up. Where's the one I just saw? Civil War imminent. Trump calls on states to send National Guard to the border. There's another one somewhere. Let's see. I may have lost it, but there's one about the red states and the coalition. All these states, like 21 states, joined Texas and, protesting it or whatever and all that crap. Here it is. Red state coalition forms to defy boredom Biden on border security.
So they're bored, so they're going to fight Biden and boredom at the same time.
Biden is.
Well, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that something like that happened. It's that it's even been an item of contention for me too. I mean, I would write. Our country is built on diversity, so I think maybe we ought to reevaluate how we let people into our country. Maybe that's part of the problem. But what bothers me is that there's no urgency in our government to fix this security hole. If nothing else, it's a security hole. If this were any other time of if we were back 100 years ago, and we didn't have nuclear weapons and whatnot, and we'd still be a warlike people. Someone, even if it's just citizens coming across a secured or unsecured border like that would be grounds for war. We would already be at war with Mexico if our government had any kind of balls whatsoever. Probably be at war with Canada too.
We got a statement from Mabus Mabus, and we're gonna put this in the room. Mabus sounds like the devil. Whitley Strieber told me so and said, if I watch this, I will be Trumplegooched by legions of carrots. So this is very bad. I don't know where this is coming from, but this is what we're dealing right now. There's some kind of riot happening in the comments. Somebody named Morbus Locust Mabus. He probably works for Biden. Boredom. Mabus sounds like the devil. Whitley Strieber told me so and said, if I watch this, I will be Trumplegooched by a legion of carrots. Can you believe this tragedy that's happening? I watched an Insane Clown Posse documentary on Amazon. It's pretty good. I've listened to them on and off, but I wouldn't say, I'm like fanatical about them, but I've listened to them more lately. It's fun to listen to. They're pretty crazy. But something about the FBI labeled them terrorists and all this court crap happened. They won. And then juggalos are terrorists. And but anyway, I wouldn't mind interviewing that one dude on the show. I know he's done some shows lately, Violent J or whatever, but I was supposed to try, but I haven't tried. But I don't know who this Morbus Loki Mabus is, but seems like a troublemaker to me.
Yeah.
But propaganda. Neil Donald Walsh was on our show, Mr. Conversations with God. He's been on Oprah, so Mabus is okay with him. There you go. Trumpolos. Trumpolos. That's right. So, anywho, so is World War III about to happen? Or are they just going to keep finger banging each other about it?
I don't know. If it happens, I would think it would happen only due to the Israel thing. Like if something goes out of hand with Israel, Hamas, that'll spark it off. We've had Putin in Ukraine for 2 years, maybe going on 2.5 years, and tensions have gotten tenser, but no, there's been no overt overtures of war from anyone else but Putin. So if it happens, it's going to be something to do with Israel.
Yeah, and then we're already attacking Iran and stuff, aren't we? Like they're definitely being attacked by us.
There's armed conflict going on in at least 3 or 4 locations right now.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and we're involved in at least 2 of them.
And
so think about that.
I can't even keep up with the crap no more. Like whatever's going on with all that stuff.
Yeah,
whatever.
We were the first generation, Jeffrey. We got to see the first televised war. That's Vietnam, and that was pretty brutal and graphic. But this one, as soon as someone fires off a gun, you hear about it almost instantly. At least with Vietnam, it took several hours for any kind of bad news or even bad videos to make their way across the planet. So, yes, Vietnam was better that way, as it took a little longer for the really bad news to get out to people.
It's just crazy. It's all crazy. What's up with China? You think they're going to really ever do Taiwan?
Well, if they do that, again, then there's no armed conflict going on there yet, but we cannot allow them to take that country over, because that country builds all of our high grade, mid grade, and low grade circuitry. And if China gets their hands on it, it'll increase their technology, bring them up to to even with ours within instance, like moments would take for them to figure it out. So yeah, no, if it happens, that's World War III again. Also, if China invades Taiwan, World War III will begin.
China worries me more than Russia. Russia's just like the little Gollum from Lord of the Rings, looking for his precious.
See, well, here's the problem: is that Russia is controlled by a fanatical dude with people that have a good moral compass. China is being ruled by a guy who's a fanatical dude, but his country may not necessarily have the same type of moral compass as the rest of the world.
Don't they have like Muslims in like weird camps there doing crazy stuff? Oregon.
Well, I don't know, but I'm talking more about like human rights violations and animal rights violations, that kind of thing. I think they as far as those kind of bad things go, I think they rule the world on that. Human rights violations, animal rights violations, cruelty to animals, cruelty to humans, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they do crazy. I've seen crazy stuff in some of those countries about dogs, man. I can't. That's horrible. Some of the stuff they do.
Let me let this kitty cat out. I'll turn the camera off real quick, but I'm still here.
Alrighty. And Dwayne Elizondo, Mountain Dew, Herbert Camacho for president. That's there's a lot of craziness out tonight. The full moon was last night. It must have farted some of them out for today. That's what I'm thinking. That wolf moon last night could have beaten
wolf moon.
I saw Fargo and keep talking like I'm from Minnesota for some reason. Minnesota.
Oh yeah, sure, you betcha.
That's right. There's a Fargo TV series pretty good too. Noah Hawley does it. He's about to do an Alien prequel show, and that dude makes some weird shows. He did that.
Noah who? Noah Wiley?
Noah Hawley, like Hawley. I may be saying it wrong, but that's how you spell it. He did the Fargo show that's on FX. It's pretty good. I haven't seen all of it, but he also did Legion, a weird show about Professor X's son that's the most powerful mutant ever, and it's weird as hell. It was pretty good though. But now they're doing an Alien, like Aliens, all that crap. Prequel show before I guess the ship thing happens or whatever. I don't know, but that guy makes some good things. He just did every season of Fargo is a different story. Billy Bob Thornton's been in it.
Really?
John Hamm. Who's the guy that plays? Wait, damn, I can't think of his name. He's British. Ian McGregor. Yeah, he's been in it. The last one, Juno Temple Girl, she's been in stuff. He's in it. That was really, the first season was Billy Bob Thornton. They're worth watching. They're good. I haven't seen them all. I know there's a whole season with, is it Chris Rock? I think Chris Rock
is in it? Wow.
Wait, let me recheck that. I think so. I may be wrong. Yeah, Fargo stars Chris Rock in a mob tale that rolls along. It got mixed reviews, but I haven't seen that season yet. But it's a whole like black mob story for a season. But they're all like these weird small stories.
Is it like the first one where there's like a weird clandestine murder? That would
it's that kind of stuff. But there's different stories. Like it gets weird. Like it's Coen Brothers are producing on it and helping with it.
Well, they produced the first one, didn't they? The movie?
They made the first movie, but this is like
a
series. There's about 5 seasons. Every season's different, a different story with different actors.
What station is it on?
It's on Hulu.
Oh, okay.
It's FX. But who's the last season? What's that guy's name? John Hamm. Yeah, John Hamm's like a crazy sheriff in it with his nipples pierced. But it's worth watching. It's fun. I got to do some catch up. I didn't see the Chris Rock season yet. But if you've never seen Legion, look it up and see. That's on Hulu too, I think. That's crazy. Like it's a crazy weird superhero thing that's just so weird. It gets so weird. It's just called Legion. And it's based on.
I have seen that. Yeah.
Oh,
I haven't seen the show, but I've seen the tile.
You saw the what?
Like the little square tiles on the Roku for different shows and things. I've seen that. Seen previews for it.
Legion is an American superhero television series created by Noah Hawley for FX based on Marvel comic characters Legion. There's a comic and that he's Xavier's son.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of the weirdest things ever. That Aubrey Plaza's in it and stuff, and there's a bunch of weird Jermaine Clement or something. He's in it. It's just very weird. Good night, Mabus. Enjoy your work. Artist Graham Gatson. That's who was playing pranks on us. He's going to work now like a good lad. He used to be a taxidermist, so now not sure what he's doing. Probably something fiendish and ghoulish. But nonetheless, anywho, so what's up? What are you can talk for an hour now.
What? Me?
I'm just kidding. Where the hell did you go? You're not even here. Nobody just wants to look at me.
I'm here. I'm smoking a cigarette, so I turn my camera off so I don't get in trouble with the big JoJo.
Yeah. Well, you just announced it, so they ain't gonna listen no way, probably. So. But anywho, they might. You never know. You got spies out here. Spies out there.
Spies. He could be watching. He might be home.
Yeah, he's spying. Probably spying. He's got little mini-me's. Little juggalos. But what else is going on? I saw Napoleon, Ridley Scott and Joaquin Phoenix. His fourth one.
Oh yeah, is it good?
It's worth the watch, but I wouldn't watch it anytime soon twice.
Oh,
It's not bad, but it's 3 hours. Some of
yeah,
it
it's
I
a
know.
historical piece. So, I mean, you got to like history to really want to watch it again.
Well, the worst thing is he didn't. There are times they said that when he was doing it, he came up to Ridley Scott and goes, "I don't know what the hell I'm doing." Like, so you kind of see that in some scenes. Like, I'm sure it's one to get used to. Not the easiest thing, you know.
Well, I mean, you're playing a a rather well-known, well-written about historical real figure. It's not. I'm sure it's different playing that kind of character versus one that's of fiction. Because if it's a fictional character, you can go your own direction. But to be historically accurate, you gotta study the historical documents on the dude.
It's good to watch. I mean, did you ever see Killers of the Flower Moon?
No.
That was that native one that's pretty good by Scorsese.
Yeah, and what DiCaprio?
Yeah, and Robert De Niro and
Yeah, I saw a little box of that on the Roku thing tonight too.
it's Apple.
Or all these new movies have come out.
Napoleon's Apple too, but there may be other places you can do, but you gotta buy them, I'm sure.
Oh, probably have to buy it or rent it. Yeah,
But
a lot of the ones that are still in the theater though, you can buy the digital copy of it for like $25 usually, which is about the same as the ticket you'd pay for to go see it in theaters. So.
You ever see Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
No.
That's a good one on Amazon Prime, I think. Wait, no, I'd have to look that up. What it was on? Maybe on Hulu. It's got Alan Tudyk in it, and I forget the other dude, but it's not like they're two hillbillies, and basically these teenagers go out in the woods and kind of, well, they do misjudge these guys as being like killers, but suddenly all this craziness happens with teenagers being murdered, and these guys are blamed for it, and they're just like rednecks. But it's funny too. It's like a comedy.
Oh, okay.
Dale versus Evil, and it's on. Hold on. Alan Tudyk's in it. You know who that is, I know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I like it. He's good.
He's good redneck. It's on Hulu.
Okay.
It might be on Peacock. Peacock says free. I don't know exactly why it says that. But it's on Hulu. That's definitely a good one. Tucker and Dale versus Evil. A horror comedy. It did pretty good, so they're making a sequel.
I'll definitely check it out.
You doing a JoJo show after this?
Yeah, probably.
Hell happened to my camera? Hit it. Let's see. Oh, you know there's a Thundercats comic out, right? A new one?
No, I didn't know that.
Yep. You better get on it if you want it. It's on eBay. You can find it pretty good.
Marvel's producing them?
IDW?
Huh?
IDW is.
IDW.
They do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and crap.
What was that? Idea Workshop or something like that?
I don't know. They did a Gargoyles comic too, I know. They're pretty popular.
A what?
A Gargoyles comic.
Oh, Gargoyles. Oh, that was a good cartoon. I used to watch that.
They do a comic of that, but the Thundercat one just came out. I haven't read it yet. I haven't bought it yet, but luckily there's a bunch still on eBay, so I ain't that worried about it. I'll get it at some point. I wouldn't mind. Looks pretty cool. My microphone always reminds me of Trent Reznor and 9 Inch Nails Closer when it's like a booby.
Yeah.
Closer to God.
Thundercats #1.
Yeah.
Dynamite Entertainment?
Oh, maybe that's who does it. I messed up. Dynamite, I guess. There's so many, I can't keep up no more. I'm big time involved. I've had to cut back comics because my boss is an arsehole. But anyway,
yeah, shipping February 2024. It's Dynamite. Where did it say that?
I'll at least get the first issue. I don't care about variant covers anymore. Sick of all that crap. I'll do it sometimes, but not often.
On sale date 2/7/2024.
Yeah. And I already have the second one on there too.
Ooh, I don't know if I like what they did with the kits. Chitara doesn't look as hot.
Yeah. Well, I think it's the only one out there, so hopefully it does well. But
Snarf looks a little meaner.
the big comic book thing I'm keeping up with. Oh, there's our buddy.
Huh?
I said, there's our guest.
Oh, okay.
Hey, man.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I just got home right now. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. It's no problem. This old boy from Staring Into the Abyss out in California. And we've just been sitting around talking about TV shows and comics and World War III and all kinds of crap. But
World War III.
but good to have you here. Glad you could make it.
Oh, thank you, buddy. Let me get into the light so you guys can see me. I didn't know you guys were already on.
Yeah, we've been on for an hour, but we got an hour left, so.
Okay.
All right, all these handsome gentlemen. And but yeah, that Thundercats comic, I haven't read it, but real quick, and then we'll get with our guest. I was just going to say the only comic book I've been keeping up with lately is Robert Kirkman, the Walking Dead dude, is doing like G.I. Joes and Transformers and Aragon universe thing where they're all and Void Rivals. It's like a whole universe where they're all in it. I know we're nerding out, but it's actually pretty crazy because I haven't seen this issue yet, but I ordered it a while back. But it has Cobra Commander waking up Megatron and doing experiments on Megatron. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Crossover universe. That's cool.
But I mean, I played with that crap when I was a kid, but I haven't really been into it since then. But I saw that the Robert Kirkman stuff. I was like, I'm going to do it. I have Walking Dead and stuff, so it's actually pretty good. It's pretty crazy. I like it. But is it old or old?
It probably spelled it wrong when I was coming in. It's supposed to say old boy. It says old boy. I know.
That's fine. My old
you
lady,
can still fix that even while you're on camera.
Where do you go on the settings?
The little that or the little thumbnail on it's like this little three little dots on the little thumbnail picture of your camera.
Name and
click on that, and then you go right to edit your avatar, edit name and headline.
Okay.
Again, if you want to do that, it's cool. But anyway, I was just saying there's a Cobra Commander comic that's a whole just Cobra Commander comic. I think it's like 5 or 6 issues, but in it, this is really weird. Like I've always liked Cobra Commander, but in it, there's like a race of serpent people that somehow, I guess he had a Moses situation and got caught up with them, and they're in Cobra Shangri-La land or some crap. I forget the name of it, but it's something like that. But anyway, he's a human, but he's in this crazy like Shangri-La city of serpent people. And that's the background. And the comic is really dark and Lovecraftian and crazy. I guess it actually looks pretty crazy.
I'll have to check it out. It sounds pretty crazy.
Yeah. Look up Robert, not right now, but when you look it up, Robert Kirkman, G.I. Joe Transformers, Aragon, AERAGO. It'll pop up. You'll see a million things on it, but there's a comic Void Rivals, G.I. Joe, Transformers, Duke and Cobra Commander are all that's entwined in it right now, and it just started. And the Void Rivals is pretty weird, but and G.I. Joe started at I guess this guy Larry Hamas has been doing G.I. Joe comics forever, so they just rebooted G.I. Joe at 301, like 301, and 301's the starting point for it all.
He was part of the animated show too, I think.
Yeah, I don't have 1 through 300. Those seem hard to find. I would if I could, but so I started at 301, like I guess a lot of people did. But that's where the whole Kirkman thing starts up. But it's pretty interesting, But definitely check it out. I'm keeping. It's the only one I'm keeping up right now, besides a few little weird other comics. There's this one comic called Beneath the Trees or something. Hold on, we'll get started. Let me just tell you about this one real fast. Let me make sure I'm spelling the damn thing right. beneath the trees. Wait, beneath the trees where nobody sees, and it's beneath the trees where nobody sees. It's like a Muppet Sesame Street thing with serial killers.
Ooh.
And it's Patton Oswalt plugged it as being like the thing. But here's the crappy point. Luckily, I got a number 1 before they went up to like $80 on eBay. I got it at like $10. But I like weird crap like that. There's also a Frank Frazetta Mothman comic. That's pretty cool. I got to catch up on that. But oh boy, tell us about what you do in California, what you're co-hosting on, and anything else to get us started.
Well, thank you. Old Boy from Staring Into the Abyss and Tales from the Abyss. Tales of the Abyss is our paranormal investigation group. Staring Into the Abyss is on Parax Radio every Sunday nights, 12 a.m., 9 Pacific, because the guy I do the show with is James Hershey Jr. He's a famous horror author that lives in Virginia, and I live in California. So that's why everybody trips out about our way we do stuff is when we have 2 teams. I have a team in California and I have a team in Pennsylvania and Virginia. They're Vapor and I'm team Shadows Pit here in California. But I've been doing Parax Radio for like seven years now, and I've been doing the show with him for almost 8. And it's quite different because he's a religious person. He's a Christian pastor, and you know what I am. So you know, I'm far from going to heaven. So we'll just put it that way. But other than that, it works. We never have any issues. We never have any problems. That's why people trip out about that, because we are so different. But we have the same name too. We're both named James. He's a really cool guy. I have you guys should have him on the show. I already told him about you guys. So that probably probably the person you want to get on if you guys want on from my show. He's pretty good. I just hunt ghosts. I do the most extreme stuff in the world. That's what we're known for. They know we're really well known with the community, because the guy who does Vapor is named Andy Andrews. He works at Gettysburg right there. He does that tour. That he's like the manager at the tour. The ghost tours. He's been in it for a long time for the team over there in Virginia and in Pennsylvania. Here I do a lot of stuff with I'll do a lot of people's houses, like they're getting possessed or something. That we always got to make sure of that one, because everybody thinks they're a demon right off the bat. And that's something I always have to check, or some people could be faking. We had one lady in Pennsylvania. She was faking, just wanting to be on TV. That's another issue. Yeah. The wonderful TV shows. That's what the problem we have a lot of people think because they see it, watch Zach Baggins and Ghost Adventures. They're experts on this and stuff like that. And I try to tell them, don't always believe those shows, because I don't know what your opinions on some of these shows are, but
some of those shows put in like orchestrated drama. We were talking about that earlier. There's one of these shows. I haven't seen it, but I think it's a Roku show called UFO Cowboys.
Yeah.
And apparently it's like these like cowboy type dudes that are UFO hunters at night. But there's this one commercial blurb for the show, and one of the guys, they make it look like he gets snatched off screen, but maybe it looks like he just falls in the weeds. But orchestrated drama like that
and we all know about Zach Baggins.
It gets ratings, it gets ratings, but I mean it doesn't move the research forward any. No. You know what I mean?
No.
I like good stoner stuff, like These Woods Are Haunted. We're watching that, me and Christina, right now, and I know all of it's probably not true, but it's still like good stoner stuff, like Wolfman and Dogman stories. Some guy hit a werewolf with an RV.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it maybe, but I'm not. No. But one of the craziest shows, and I'm not going to get into this too much. I think most of them are BS, but that Secret for Skinwalker Ranch show and that Beyond Skinwalker Ranch, that shit is nuts. Like, there's so many spooks on that show. You're like, what are they up to? I don't trust it. Something's happening. Like, it's just insanity. Like, they end up the last season, there's like an alien base under the ranch or a military base. They don't realize what it is. I mean,
there's a dome. They found a deep underground military base.
That shit is getting nuts.
Yes.
Like, I'm like, what are they? They about to bring out an alien through a portal on here. Like, what are they about? They're up in the Beyond Skinwalker Ranch. They brought on that Chris Bledsoe that summons UFOs, And he has this book, UFO of God, that's like got 5 stars, Christian, crazy, and people are under it like, I'm having experiences now too. That's on Amazon. If you get bored, look at that book by that dude that summons UFOs. And I've had similar experiences like that where light weird crap and you ask it to move and stuff like that. But one thing I wanted to ask you, and I one of the first Satanists I ever interviewed was Eric Werner, Corvus Nocturnal.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago, but I always kind of turn into Geraldo Rivera during those interviews, which I don't even like Geraldo Rivera. But anyway, not to get into that too heavily, but what was some of the paranormal stuff that you've experienced? And I hear a little bit of feedback, but it's not that bad, so hopefully it's not Jay again.
I don't think it's me. No,
it's okay. Just go ahead.
Where do you want me to start?
What's
all my life? I deal with this all the time. My wife, she's I don't know if you ever, people who can, like Insidious, like dreamers. She can actually control stuff in her dreams. I know how crazy that sounds, but that's how she is. We deal with stuff all the time. Stuff will touch her here at this house because of the stuff I've done. Like we were in this place in Redlands. It's in California, and it's one of the most haunted cemeteries in Southern California. And we were there all doing an investigation. And while I was standing there, my ex-camera guy got scratched, and right in front of me. And we took pictures, and it looked like they were surrounding us. There was like 8 or 9 of us, and they were surrounding us. And I never seen anything like that before. It was really weird. And I've dealt with a lot of things, but that was different. And it was draining our batteries. Like it would drain our cameras. Like we couldn't get any footage at all. It would not let it. We sat there and charged batteries. 5 minutes later, they would be dead. That's something that a lot of people deal with. I've gone into a basement where they were having satanic rituals out in Lucerne Valley at Go Bar Ranch. And they were supposedly went in the cellar. No one would go down there. I went down there blindfolded for 20 minutes, and I never saw nothing really there crazy. I mean, there was stuff there at Go Bar Ranch. You guys can look it up. He was like I think in the 18 or 1900s, he was like a chicken farmer, and he was on his I think like what do they call those trailers where he was dragging for corn or something, and something got stuck and he went to get it out and it cut his head off. All kinds of weird stuff happened at his house. So like his son died and they put him in down in the cellar where I was at. It was different, but just like I'm dealing with a case in Long Beach right now with the gentleman who used to race cars. I've been dealing with this case for about 3 or 4 months. All of a sudden, he's been getting attacked by something, and we think it might be the neighbor next door did something, but we can't prove it because he said they were messing with something, witchcraft or something, and then he said he talked to the parents about it, and then all of a sudden, all this stuff was happening to him. And I've been dealing with that one a lot. I deal with a lot of people that have stuff happening at their house. And you'll have these people who charge them $400 to go help them, and they don't help them. I don't charge anybody anything. I do it for free. I do it to help people. I'm not here to make money and be on TV. And if it happens, it happens. It might, but I don't care about that. I'm trying to find out what these things are. And the first thing is always it's evil. So that's always never the case. Everybody thinks right off the bat it's demons. No, that's not always true. There's more than that sometimes. And that's a lot of things I deal with. And Zach Baggins, he's out here in Vegas. And one of my friends went to his museum, and I had to help her because she got something attached after she went to the museum. So I have my issues with him too. So
yeah, stupid stuff in there like John Wayne Gacy's foreskin or weird stuff like that. Like, is that a good idea? Like weird. I don't know exactly if that's what it is, but I know there's like weird stuff. I've never been that much into him. I've heard of him, but I don't even know.
Yeah, everybody's heard of him. I mean, he's who he is, but he's the most famous out of he's got a lot of backing in the shows. He does Ghost Adventures, so I mean he's the biggest name there is. But he's some of the reason why there's people out now thinking they're going to be on TV because they watch him and they know what they're doing. So that's another issue we deal with a lot. So
So what do you do to get rid of some of these things, and what do you think they are? I've had some guys on a serious BFRO Bigfoot guy on Carter Bashard, and he's had some Bigfoot stuff follow him home and poltergeist-like activity from it. And I think some of those, like, there's a lot of weird stuff. Like, I think there's definitely something to the Bigfoot stuff and some things like that. But what do you think it is, and what are some things that you do?
So what do you mean? What do I think with the Bigfoot, or what do I think all in general?
Some of the cases you deal with. If it's not a demon, what do you think it is?
It could be a vengeful spirit. It could be something that's happened over and over, just like, Poltergeist, the movie. It could be just something that's just bad. Just bad things have always happened there. It could be shadow people. We don't know what shadow people really are. Are they from another dimension? Are they from hell? Are they from somewhere, whatever you believe? Yeah, they're something different. I've dealt with them too. I don't know if you guys have ever dealt with shadow people.
I have,
We've heard of them.
Yeah. They're different. They're just negative. They're very negative, and they feed off a lot of negative energy. Or it could be just somebody who's lost. It could be somebody who died and they need to be helped out of here. And that's a lot of stuff we deal with too. Most of the time, like I said, guys, I deal with a lot of stuff that most people won't deal with. And like the girl in Pennsylvania was claiming she was being raped by her ghost and all this, and then we found out she was asking questions about how to get on TV, and it was a big, that's stuff that we have to deal with too. You have a lot of people who want to get on TV.
Yeah, you want to be on TV, saying you're being raped by an entity is not the way to go.
Yeah,
the woman of the actual event that happened in Texas, she didn't want any kind of But what happened to her was witnessed by several people on several occasions. So it's a documented. Wow, I mean that's a really, really messed up case.
Which one is it?
It's called There's a movie called The Entity. It's like Barbara Hershey, and she's constantly raped by an invisible poltergeist type figure. It's a well documented case. I mean, they even in the movie they show some of the scientific stuff they did. I think it was at the University of California in the real story, but I think in the movie it's in Texas. The whole thing happened in Texas, but pretty scary. And some of the special effects of her actually being like groped and grabbed by the entity were pretty cool for the time at the making of the movie.
Yeah, the story was from California, but they made it, they always do that, the true story somewhere else, the movie, but it was in California. Yeah, it was in LA. I think it was somewhere in LA. I know what you're talking about. I was going to talk about, it's weird you brought that up, because I was going to talk about the entity. I believe that really happened. I believe that. That was a big case, because that started bringing paranormal to the field in the 80s. So, I mean, that was a big step in our direction, because a lot of people didn't believe it. They thought we were all crazy, and we're not. I deal with a lot of stuff, guys, and some people believe it, some people don't. And the alien Bigfoot thing, that's a whole nother story. So
that I don't follow that at all. I've seen Bigfoot very, very up close. Whatever it is, it's of this planet. It's of the same track as humans. It's not exactly human, but it's not a gorilla either.
No,
if that makes sense.
He thinks
it's more human than
only. He's physical only camp. It could be something else going on. I also think it could be physical, and there could be ghosts. Like people have ghosts, so there's two different.
They could have entities as well, yeah. But I'm also convinced that there is an entity that's very much like you would describe it as a Bigfoot, but it is an entity more like Chewbacca, a hairy, technologically advanced creature. And I forget the name of it, but there's a book called the Blue Planet Project book, and in it they have allegedly excerpts from this book that has something like 60 to 80 alien species and their genetic makeup and all that kind of. And allegedly this monster is in there. It looks like a Bigfoot, but it uses technology. So I think that where the UFO alien stories come from, that's if there are any legit stories, that's what they're coming from. That's what they're talking about. That is a separate entity altogether from Bigfoot.
Yeah, aliens are, but I mean, come on, the government's starting to admit that they exist. I mean, one thing I got to tell you is the alien thing is it's true. The guy I do the show with, he worked for NASA. So, I mean, he's told me stuff I can't talk about, but I will tell you this. most of the stuff you see is already stuff that they've already been doing for 10, 15 years. They're just coming out now. And I will tell you this.
There isn't that technology we have that the military and special operations projects haven't used for 30 or 40 years. Yeah. Cell phones. What do you know when the cell phone first came out? The same technology we're using today.
Yeah.
It was in the 50s, and it was usually mostly used in police and military vehicles. Like what was that show? The guy, it was a detective show. It was always black and white, but the guy would always he'd always have to go to his trunk to use the phone because that's where the battery was so big. But they had a phone in their police car that they could talk to, police dispatch. So that came out in the 50s. Allegedly, Trump, made the space fleet, which is allegedly there was a space fleet flying around in this solar system owned by us, operated by us and our operatives, meaning the military. Since the 70s.
Yeah.
So as this stuff trickles down, the next trickle down the last trickle down was like cell phones. You saw how fast. I collected cell phones. I still have the first cell phone that was the first color screen. I have the first cell phone that was the first color and touch screen. That phone is still actually working. I use it in my bathroom. When I sit down, I play spades on it. But the next technology dump from the black projects, it's going to be like Star Trek in this country. It's going to be like literally like Star Trek era.
Yes, it's getting close.
And basically the reason we do the show, we're 17 years of doing this, and not to get into this because I've told it a million times. When I was 17, testicular cancer, lost a freaking nut, woke up and cried, said, "We took your nut, you got to go through chemo." Then a year or so later, my dad died. And then for some reason during all that, I started reading a lot of occult and stuff. I read Anton LaVey's stuff. I read everything I could get my hands on, those Necronomicon books, all that crap, different religions. And somehow, I guess, between all that suffering and open up doorways, UFO stuff happened to me with witnesses, beings of light, little weird cloaked beings standing near a black box that looked like weird skinny Jawas. Like I started just attracting all this phenomenon, and then next thing you know, I'm interviewing Stanton Friedman, nuclear physicist, and crazy stuff like that on here. So it's 17 years and burned out sometimes, but we'll keep on trucking. That's for sure.
Well, thank you for having me on the show, and thanks for reaching out to me.
Yeah, it's good to have you on, definitely. And do y'all have a website or anything y'all want to give out to, or anything, a link?
If you guys want to check us out, go to staringtotheabyss.com, or you could go to James Hershey's YouTube page. The reason we did that is because he's a big name radio book writer, so he just left it that way. I didn't want to have two YouTubes going, but just go to James Hershey. I think it's youtube.com, and you guys can check him out, and you can watch or you can go to Parax Radio and listen to our show, not watch. I can't keep saying that, but we also do we do a show like this, and we put it on Facebook. We're on Spotify. Check us out on Spotify, Staring at This on Spotify, pretty much everywhere. So except Apple. I'm not on Apple yet. We're talking about that, so that's next. Yeah. But you guys can check us out anywhere out. If you ever want us to write us, just email me. It's Kane oneverses@gmail.com. Tell us if you guys want to talk about a show. You guys ever want to be a guest, you guys are always welcome to come on. Just let me know, and I'll get you guys on, if you two, and we'll talk to you guys. We do an hour show too, pretty much the same way. We've been doing it for 8 years, and I've loved it. I get burned out too. You can only talk about this stuff so much, but a lot of stuff
can burn you out.
Paranormal, we talk about everything, conspiracies, history. James a big history guy. Like, he's very smart, so you probably would like him on the show. He's really good guy. So
we'll hook him up for sure. And so how does the Satanist role play into some of this then, when there's something creepy around? Do they say, "Did you summon it?" How does that play out?
Yeah, no.
Do you have a different technique, like, because of that, or to deal with it, or?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. They don't mess with me. I've never been attacked. They talk to me. They threaten James because he's a Christian.
With them because you're a Satanist.
I guess. I don't know. I'm a Satanist, but the funny thing is, the Christians always have a problem when they start talking about how God, they use the word of God to help the person. It never works, and then I have to come back and fix it. So most of the time what I do with people, if it's not my religious belief, I have James deal with it. And he will read, he'll do his prayer for them. If it's for me, like the pagan, my wife's a witch, so a pagan witch. She's not a Satanist. She'll do that part of it. We have a Catholic in it. We have different beliefs in our system. So it's not just one Christian or pagan or Satan. We have different beliefs. So we could deal with different people, not just one or two people. Like it's always about Christians or Satanists or if there's Jew that that's one thing we haven't dealt with is I don't have anybody Jewish in my group, but we have 3 or 4 different other religious beliefs in our group. It's in just one person. But it works. We never have any issues, guys, surprisingly. Especially with Christian and a Satanist, you'd be surprised. We don't even argue. It's different. But yeah, when I deal with stuff, usually it doesn't stick to me and negativity doesn't bother me. It usually with the funny thing is a lot of the people who, other than James, like our guy JC, he's our medium, but he's a Christian. They always attack him, and it's kind of weird. They don't like him. Every time we talk, they'll say something about him, and apparently they don't like James or JC most of the time, and they'll call him out. Like I'll do an investigation here in California, and they'll call him out and say stuff. But I never usually have any problems, unless if it's something where they just don't want me to do it because of my belief. Because people are like that. Trust me. I'll let James and them deal with it because they're the Christian part of the group. It's weird to say that, but we have but I have one Christian in mind, and most of them are pagans. It's in my group, so it's a little bit different how we do it, but it's pretty much the same thing. We talk to spirits on the spirit box. I do my prayer or my protection, and if it's something with Christianity, I'll let James handle that part with the prayer or JC. Like I said, we're not just down to one thing and that's it. But usually I don't have any issues, guys. Like I do stuff in this house. I have stuff at this house right now that I deal with, and they never attack me. I've done an investigation in my house. Usually when we're doing the show on Staring the Abyss, we'll have stuff during the show on my side talking, and James has to edit it out. So never really bothers me. I've never had any big issues. Like I don't just sit in a cave and sacrifice cats and dogs like Hollywood has portrayed. So
you're not. I know we don't get into it too much more, but is it more of an Aunt LaVey kind of thing, like that kind of system, or do you actually think there's a Lord of Darkness, Sauron, and stuff like that?
Well, no, I don't know how. Okay, this is where I have a thing with Satanists. They usually believe it. They don't believe in the devil. They're just doing it because it's against the church. They're actually atheists, most of them. No, I have an opinion. If you believe in a devil, you have to believe there's a God. So you have to believe in both. So it's really, I just have an opinion on God. But LaFay was cool, but when you have to pay any kind of church, in my opinion, for any kind of money, even if it's a satanic church that charges you money to get it as a member, I don't have a problem with that. That's the way they want to make money, but that's just that I have an opinion. So I'm not paying anybody to be in any kind of religion. I don't care what you believe in. You could believe in a cat for all I care, and I won't judge you about it. But I get judged. I've had somebody want me to do a show like you two, and they found out how I was. And they told the co-host that they were going to try to make me look bad on their show. And they told me about it. So we had to cancel the show. She got fired from the channel she was on. She was going to try to set me up. She was a Trump supporter. I don't have a problem with Trump supporter. I don't care. But she was crazy. So she was going to try to get me fired for try to make me look bad. So that's kind of why I'm hesitant to do shows sometimes.
Well, Jay loves Trumplegooch. I call Trump Führer Shitbird von Trumplegooch, if that does anything. So that's about where we're at.
Look, I don't love the dude the way he is, but I didn't like paying $5 for gas. You got to admit, we had a much better economy under Trump.
Yeah,
love or hate the man, but
Biden. Better economy. No, come on. Biden ain't no better. I'll just say Biden ain't no better.
No, Biden is way, way worse. Yeah, definitely way worse.
We had a whole show about Nostradamus and Mabus, and this guy believes Trump is Mabus, Nostradamus, and he breaks it down with Drumpf and gets into these codes, and he's like he's been trying to warn Biden, and Like, I mean, you would normally just hear it and laugh at it, but if you actually listen to him, you're like, this is kind of creepy. Like, there's some Napoleonic shit going on with Trump. Like, he tries to mimic these crazy people.
Well, but you also gotta argue back. People say that the Illuminati and Joe Biden's involved with the Illuminati because he likes to talk about sniff. I mean, we have that issue too. So I mean, and the Illuminati. I'm gonna tell you this. I live in California. Illuminati's real. Now I don't follow them, but I know people who deal with them in Hollywood, and that's the more of the other sides on with them a lot. So, but I have my opinions on them too. But
my thing with politics is like I like Bernie a lot because I've had cancer and I know what it feels like with insurance crap. And my point with some of these politicians and being like, all into them and crap, it's like being pro Ted Bundy. Like, yay, Ted Bundy. Yay, Jeffrey Dahmer. It's like I just don't understand it. But let's get into the some paranormal. I mean, as far as cases go, what's is there more weird crap happening lately? Because everything just seems bat crap crazy on the world scale. I mean, is there more stuff happening?
You mean with the cases I do? Yeah. I have a lot of people who are getting attacked lately. They'll tell me that they get attacked or something's bothering them, and they've been having a lot of issues. I've been noticing that. That's one thing we get a lot of. We get a lot of people getting attacked by entities, so we have to go in there and deal with it. The only problem is, like I said, half the time, I think they scare themselves into this, where they think it's a demon right off the bat, and I have to, and it's not. Sometimes it's nothing. It's just that they just had, maybe it's negative energy that came in their house at the time, because I believe it doesn't stay sometimes. I think some people you bring in your house could be some of the problem too. I believe it follows people.
I've heard other stories where people literally it's like tracking in dirt. It just follows them from some other location they were at, whether they were in a historical home or battlefield, whatever. Just whatever the entity, wherever the entity died, latched onto them there and follows them home.
Yeah, that happens a lot. If you go to the cemeteries, you have to be careful with that. We have people that we had a guy we went in a cemetery out in Barstow, and this guy, he started acting weird after we left. And when we went to Denny's, all of us after the investigation, he was acting real weird and he started acting different, and we had to kick him out. I don't know what he was doing, or he was trying to get some kind of power, because he started changing and dressing all dark, and it was real weird. You have a lot of these people who think they're going to get some power from going to a cemetery and doing stuff for the devil. That's the funniest one right there, when people have the old 90s movies, they always had somebody out there praying to the devil for power. There's the people who actually believe this, and they go out and do this kind of stuff, and they'll go to investigations, and then they'll turn weird, and we've dealt with that a couple times too. The other thing I have is aliens, a lot of alien sightings out here in California, and I'm right by Pahrump, whatever. It's like 3 or 4 hours away. So I'm by Area 51. I've never been there yet. I want to go. I know there's a lot of stuff in Nevada. I have never really seen aliens. That's one thing I can't ever say. I've never really dealt with them. The one thing I have seen is there was this thing in the desert. It was called just like the movie The Kraken. It was called that. It was a nickname, but it used to run out in the desert. It was like 7-8 feet tall, and it chased me one time in the desert. I don't know what it was, and we kept seeing it all the time. And George Air Force Base is out here, and they shut it down. And they said they were doing experiments in the 30s and 40s there. I don't know if it's true or not, but they also have George Air Force Base has been shut down, so they have their hospital there. It's supposed to be really haunted, but the military won't let you go on there anymore because it's owned by the military. So the military has the police there watching it now, the military police and stuff like that. So I've been wanting to do that. It's supposed to be very, very haunted, but has a lot of asbestos in it, so they don't want people going there. That's the excuse.
That's probably why.
Yeah.
So hey, you said you saw an actual being out there, Kraken. What are you talking about?
No, I never seen an alien. What I was telling him, there was this thing in the desert we called I live in the high desert. It's out in the middle of the desert. And there was this thing called the Kraken. It was just like the Kraken in the ocean, but it was like 8 or 9 feet tall. And I never believed it. But one day we were walking and something started chasing us through the desert. And it had to be taller than me, because I'm 6 foot tall. My friend was 6'4", and it was taller than him, and it would chase us. But it was weird. It would chase us around. It would circle us, and it was super fast. I don't know what it was. And we saw it one time while we were driving, and it looked like a lion's head on a coyote's body, but it was like tall, like an ostrich. It was real weird. I've never seen anything like it.
That's crazy.
I don't know if it was real or I was young, so maybe I was drunk or something. I don't know, but there was a story about it.
That's just it, with things. I've seen things completely sober. I've seen beams of light leave my house like they had been in it and flew through the roof and flew into the heavens completely sober. But I've also seen crazy stuff tripping balls. So I think everything's lucrative.
Yeah, we've all done that one.
But has there been any? So none of the cases scare you, or they just
nothing. That's why when we talk to them about doing a show, because we are talking to them right now about doing a show, we want to do the most extreme stuff. I want to go to Skinwalker's Ranch by myself. I want to go to Romania. That's where I really want to go, to the disposal haunted Dracula Castle. I want to go there. I want to go wherever they're supposed to be the most haunted places, like the Conjuring House. I'll go do it. I don't care. It doesn't scare me.
Yeah, there was one year they had some sort of contest. Me and Jeffrey entered. You had a chance to win a weekend overnight stay at Dracula's Castle in Romania. It would have been cool as shit. And I think the grand prize, you got to spend at least one night, maybe I don't know if it was the whole night or the whole weekend, but you get to stay in I don't know if it's his coffin. They said his coffin, so it's probably a new coffin they bought for you to sleep in. That would have been so cool to sleep in a coffin in Dracula's Castle. Oh, wow, that would be so hot.
Exactly. Stoker only invited us there before. Living Blood defended of Bram Stoker. What's up in the future? I mean, do you want to go to some of these places, or what's going on?
We're gonna try. We're gonna try to get like.
Technical difficulties.
Got a fuzz out. But
you guys still see me? I don't know.
No, your camera's out.
Yeah,
there you go. Sorry about that. I had somebody try to call me and I had to hang up. We're trying to go to some of these places, especially, but they're all over the country, so it's harder to get in some of these places, and they always want money or $120, just for a couple people. Some of these places are charging $1,000 to go a night. I want to go to Gettysburg. I have a lot of hookups in Gettysburg right now. That's where I want to go.
I'm 30 minutes from Gettysburg.
Andy has a lot of sway over there because he knows a lot of them. And he knows the Berries own that breakfast in bed thing at night. There's like a place they have there at Gettysburg, and you could stay there during the weekends now. It's like a bed and breakfast hotel kind of thing. The Berries there, they own that place. They're really cool. I've talked to them online and stuff like that. I've never met them. I would like to go to Gettysburg. I want to do Pennhurst. That's a cool. I've had to deal with that one before. I had one of our cameras guys went out there and he did an investigation at Pennhurst, and he had to call me to come help him because he started getting attacked by something there. So I think there's somebody who's going down in Pennhurst in certain areas, and you could see there was markings and stuff. So I think people are doing ritual stuff there or sneaking in at night or something. I don't know what's going on, but I saw symbols written on the walls, and they're talking about that now at Pennhurst. See, some of these people are going there and doing weird stuff, like the cemetery we do in Victorville. They do their little rituals and stuff in some of these areas, and we don't know what we're really messing with, because some of this stuff could be just stuff that was brought there. It doesn't mean just because it's a graveyard there's people dead there and it's automatically haunted. That's not necessarily true. There's a lot of stuff that people do. There's a lot of people who believe that they're going to get certain powers by with the devil, and they go into these graveyards and do spells and stuff. And we've dealt with a lot of that too. We have a lot of people who do spells on people, and there's a lot of stuff in California. I mean, California is haven for this. There's a lot of people who are into witchcraft, and there's just a lot of bad things going on sometimes, and you got to be careful what you're messing with. You don't know what people are doing. It could be somebody bringing something after you, and there's nothing you could really do that, especially in Mexico. They have a lot of stuff. They believe in that, like Day of the Dead and stuff like that. They believe in that. My wife's from El Salvador. She believes in that. And Mexican voodoo, and that stuff you don't want to mess with, because like they're like really hardcore into that. Like they do some things that, you know, they really take their religion beliefs seriously, even if you don't. Yeah, you better be careful. The mafia, not the mafia, the Mexican mafia, and a lot of the cartels use those people to scare, to do stuff, to put curses on people out here. So that's another thing we got to be careful with who we piss off. So, you know,
Yeah. I interviewed Andrew.
but I don't know if you guys have ever had that issue. Have you had any issues with? Have you guys have any bad issues happen with investigations or anything? Or
I've had some stuff happen that's been scary as
can you
far
guys
as
hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you hear me okay?
You're a little muddy, but yeah, we can hear you.
You can hear me right now?
I can hear you. I think we lost Old Boy though.
Okay. You can hear me? He says he can't hear me. You can hear
He
me,
can't
Jack?
hear you.
Uh-oh. Well, I don't know what's going on. I didn't do anything. Maybe go in and come back out.
No sound.
Oh, you
No
have
sound.
No sound. Yeah.
Weird. Jay can hear me.
I can hear. Yeah. I can hear him.
Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. But anywho, hopefully he'll come back. I don't know what happened. But I interviewed Andrew Perrin before the Conjuring lady from that whole story, the real lady from the Conjuring. That was me and Stephanie Benetti. She
Oh, that's
passed.
cool.
She used to be on the network. That was weird too. She passed away. Oh, everybody's croaking. And then one day you get to croak and everybody could talk about how it's weird how you croak.
Yeah.
Ain't it great? People wonder why I'm depressed.
Yeah. Get to be full circle.
Yeah. Then I'll just be a naked light being like everybody else.
Yeah.
Floating in the heavenlies for my nards and everything. But Satanists are always nice. Why are they so nice? Hi, welcome to my abode. Come to my house. What's that movie? House of the Devil. It's a good horror movie where this girl's like babysitting and Tom Noonan's in it. And he's like he's a old time actor who was in Manhunter.
Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah, he's in it. Turns out they're Satanists and gonna sacrifice her at midnight. She's just there to babysit. And they lured her there so they could give her to the devil at midnight. By Ty West. All right, here we go.
I couldn't hear you guys at all. Sorry.
Oh, really? Wow. We can hear you.
Yeah.
I started talking about House of the Devil by Ty West. You ever seen that with Tom Noonan?
I seen what is it? They made the remake. I didn't like it. The first
I don't know. It's weird. They invited the girl. I didn't know there's an old one. Is there an old one?
Yeah, that was what it was. It was a remake from the 70s.
Okay, I'll have to check it out. I saw the new one. I noticed that Ty West guy or whatever, but
yeah,
it's been a while since I've seen it. But so what do you think most of these things are? They're like just pissed off ghosts that are a-holes? Like people?
I have a couple of theories. I think that could be true. I think it could be something demonic. I also believe there could be people who were murdered and they're stuck. I also believe it could be from another dimension. I mean, a lot of people, how do we know these are ghosts? They could be pretending to be something and just coming from another dimension and just messing with us. Just like the Bigfoot ghosting. I don't know if you saw the show on Discovery. There is a place in Alaska. They believe there's a Sasquatch. It's a ghost or something. And it's killing people out there. And they went out there and investigated. And I don't know if it was fake or not, but they showed like they left the hut and it started on fire. I believe that there could be a possibility that's what we're dealing with stuff that just knows what they're doing and they might not even be spiritual. They just pretend to be. I'm just saying a theory. I don't know if I believe it or not.
Is that Expedition Bigfoot or something like that?
I've seen, yeah. I think that's what it was.
Good. I saw the first season. They were getting some weird lights with Bigfoot.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's physical ones and like tribes of them, but there's definitely some weird, like even on that show, it almost seemed like there was Bigfoot, maybe some weird spirit lights around it or something.
Yeah.
Like
maybe
phenomenon.
Maybe Bigfoot has powers we don't even know. I mean, we don't know what he is. So, I mean, there's just theories. Everything's theory. It's not true. Till we actually see it and it comes into our face, then we can tell you what it really is. It could be aliens controlling everything. You never know. I'm just throwing out theories. I mean, the aliens could just be pretending to be something, and they can shapeshift or something. I don't know. I'm just throwing out, ideas of what it could be.
There is an energy that's trickster-like that I believe can take the form of whatever it wants. If you're Loki or something like that, you could turn into a Bigfoot. You could turn into a wolf. You could turn into whatever the hell you want it to, probably.
Yeah.
But there's something to that trickster energy and taking shapes and things like that. Because there was this one story, who was it? Bruce Hallenbach. He's like a Hammer horror expert. And he did this book from Small Town Monsters. I forget the name of it, but the blob. It was some blob story where people saw this blob, and it was upstate somewhere in north, and I forget exactly where. But anyway, another person saw the Virgin Mary, but another person saw a blob, like the Kinder State blob or something like that. But there's weird stories like that, like shape-shifting situations.
It could be a possibility. I'm not going to say nothing's impossible. I've never seen any shape-shifting stuff. I've never dealt with that. The only thing I see is spirit, shadow people. I've seen the man with the black hat. We have a video of that. We were all taking pictures, and you could see this shadow, and it had a black hat, and that was different. I've seen him, the shadow, the man with the black hat. I've dealt with him a couple times. Yeah, that's all negativity, but I've never seen shape shifting or anything like that. I've seen ghosts and demons and all kinds of different stuff, but I've never seen anything like that. I've seen a dragon. That one was really weird. We had a picture of it. It looked like a dragon. It looked like an actual dragon, but it was all red.
That's like that. Yeah, I've tripped before, and I was so tripping that I felt like a dragon was there, and I was in its hand, and it was like communicating with me, and I felt like a doll in its hand. That was a wild trip. And Dracula came up a lot. I've always loved that stuff with Vlad the Impaler and all that stuff.
Dracula.
Trip.
What's your favorite horror movies?
Oh man, there's so many. I love that Francis Ford Coppola Dracula. That's a favorite. I like Shadow of the Vampire. You ever seen that one with John Malkovich and William Dafoe? And
yeah, it was all right.
That's a great one. I like the black and white, old silent, the Universal. There's so many. I love them. I mean, I just
Evil Dead fan.
Yeah, Evil Dead.
I think the last best vampire movie was The Lost Boys, but that's just my humble opinion.
I just saw Tucker and Dale versus Evil again last night. That's actually a fun watch.
Let the Right One In, or Let the One In is one of the best vampire movies. Have you ever seen them? There's a European version, and then there's the Canadian version. They're really good movies. It's about a vampire, and you'll actually like it. It's I don't know if you've seen them. It's Let Me In, and then Let the Right One In. That's the remake. And if you've seen those movies, it's about a girl. It's like she's like 12 or 13, and she meets this boy. It's 12 or 13, but she's like a vampire. And it's a really interesting movie. Go check it out if you guys can. Yeah, it's called Let Me In or Let the Right One In.
I've seen the foreign one. I haven't seen the new one, but I saw the foreign one.
Okay, no, it's a pretty good movie. Vampire movies, yeah, it's Lost Boys, one of my favorite movies, so I gotta agree with you on that.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's one of the last best ones. If they had planned it, and I don't think it did well in theaters. I think it did better in video sales and rentals after the fact, but I don't think it was enough to salvage it. It would have made a good run of movies because they were going to do the next one where they went after they had werewolves.
Yeah,
and then the third one was going to be maybe about with like their girlfriends or something like that, and going after like a mummy.
The musical coming.
There's a musical. Oh, great!
Yeah, The Lost Boys actually has two movies. The Corey Feldman did them both.
I did see the second one.
Yeah, I met Corey Feldman. He was a cool guy. But yeah, they actually have a Lost Boys 2 and 3, but they're low budget.
Yeah,
with him in it.
POSs.
So. Yeah. Evil Dead, Stakeland. Have you ever seen that movie? That's a pretty good movie.
I like Stakeland. Yeah, I saw Rare Exports recently. That's a foreign one that was pretty good. But same guy did Sisu. Did you ever see that? That's a new one that came out. SISU, about this soldier that kills the crap out of Nazis. That's actually really good. one that I saw around Christmas time. There's something in the barn. And it's about these little elves that live in a barn, like gremlins. That was actually good.
The new Godzilla movie, the one it's in Japanese, go see it. It's great.
I want it.
love it.
I need it.
It's really good.
Yeah.
The mean one, don't see that. That's the Grinch horror movie. That was horrible. I saw that a couple days ago.
I haven't seen that one, but I know David. He's on my Facebook. The guy that plays the Terrifier clown. He comes on my page, talks crap about Trump a lot on my page. But yeah, I haven't seen the mean one, but I figured it probably wasn't that great from what I saw.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It's like the Winnie the Pooh movie.
Yeah, I saw the most recent Winnie the Pooh. It wasn't that good.
They're making a part 2.
Oh God.
I don't know why. And they're making Steamboat Willie. They're Mickey Mouse and Mickey Mouse. Yeah, they're making a Steamboat Willie horror movie now. That's the new one.
Wow.
Did you see that Pooh Winnie? Although I didn't watch the Winnie the Pooh one because it looked so horrible.
Yeah, it was.
It's pretty bad.
I love From Dusk Till Dawn. That's one of my favorites.
That movie's great.
Planet Terror and Death Proof again recently too. Those are fun. Planet Terror is
great movie. Thanksgiving was pretty cool. If you guys like that kind of old 80s.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it. It wasn't bad. Thanksgiving was worth the watch for sure.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to that Robert Eggers Nosferatu.
Looks pretty good. I'm thinking about it looks pretty good. I can't wait. I'm glad they're finally making a movie, a Nosferatu, a newer version of it. But I actually like the original one. It was good. I actually watched it with Typo Negative. I don't know if you know who that band is. They play the music in the background.
Love it.
It was pretty good.
How'd you watch it with them? How'd you do that? How'd that happen?
My friend had a DVD of the movie of the Nosferatu movie, I think it was in the 20s, and they put typo negative at the time was in they played the background music.
I have that somewhere. Yeah, I have it somewhere.
It was really different.
I had this weird one that trauma, whatever the hell they're called, and I'm not that big into them. They're okay, but some of it's like kind of gross. But I want to see the new Toxic Avenger with Peter Dinklage. But anyway, I have a Nosferatu with 3D glasses that Trauma put out somehow. That looks. I never opened it, but it's kind of hard to find. So that's pretty cool. What about the Klaus Kinski Nosferatu? That was creepy. That Klaus Kinski Werner Herzog Nosferatu from the 70s. You ever see it?
I don't know if I have. If I have, it's been a long time. I've seen a lot of movies because I'm a big 50s and 60s. I like those kind of movies. I like the black and white, just like you. Frankenstein meets the werewolf. And the Hammer movies. I love the Hammer films. So
I'll send you a show that Stephen Flowers from the Temple of Set on classic monsters I did at Halloween time. It was so good. It's like a remaster from Temple of Set. This Temple of Set guys love me for some reason, Don Webb and him. But I'll send that to you if you get a chance into your Facebook. But that was like one of my favorites ever. It's just all about what we're talking about. And he won't watch a movie over the 70s pretty much. Like he hates new movies.
But, I gotta agree. Some are all right. Like Terrifier is all right. I thought that's something new. So it's kind of cool. I mean, if you like violence, the second one's pretty bad. I'm surprised that was even in movie theaters, how bad it was. I don't know if you guys seen it. Have you seen those movies?
They're kind of a rough one. I mean, I like them, but some of the gore, and it's like even too much for me. It's like that. It's not something I watch over and over. That's for sure. Some of it's sick. Like,
how about the extreme movies, like the Serbian film? Have you seen that?
I probably have it somewhere and just have it. I know what you're talking about, but I don't think I ever watched it.
Well, I know the guys that own the rights to that movie. That movie was made in I think in 2007. It was about the porn industry in Serbia and the snuff film, and that everything you can think of was in this movie. Yeah, it's pretty bad. My friends bought the rights to it on Earth Films, and they make the most extreme movies, or they buy the most extreme and put them on DVD and Blu-ray. And I've seen a lot of extreme movies, and that's one if you don't have your kids watching or young kids watching that movie, because it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll watch it one year maybe, but
yeah, it's not for the faint of heart. I like stuff like that. I'm just twisted.
I like creature features.
Yeah. Creature features, Godzilla.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind watching all the old ones again. It's been a while.
Yeah, The Thing from Outer Space, the original one, not the one from '82. The original one's the 50. I love that.
Yeah, the original.
It came from outer space. The Blob.
Yeah. I've been trying
Blob's
to watch.
good. The original Blob's a good one.
Yeah.
I like the new Blob. They're doing another Blob at some point. I know someone's doing it. I forget who, but someone that's pretty well known. And well, we got about 2 minutes. Oh boy, it's been great. We'll have to get you on again sometime. I'll have to check in about your friend for sure if he wants to come on. And what's your website links again and stuff?
Just go to staringintotheabyss.com. You guys can check us out. Go to James Hirsch's YouTube page. You can subscribe and watch our old shows on Staring Into the Abyss. Go to Parax Radio every Sunday nights, 12 a.m. Eastern, 9 Pacific. And the Best Of show we have on Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. You can check us out on paraxradio.com. Thank you for having me on the show. You guys are wonderful. Sorry I was the last minute, guys. I literally just got in the door and I was surprised.
That's all right.
So.
That's cool. We got an hour. That's good. I just had Neil Donald Wash on. He did an hour. That's a lot. Like an hour TV show. I mean, that's a lot of time, more than we think anyway. But it was good. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And great to have you on. And thanks so much. All right, everybody. You're listening to United Public Radio 107.7 FM New Orleans. And we'll see you next week with Patricia Corey and then Augie Noss the next week. And Penny Bradley, some weird Black Ops secret space situations. And get us on some watch lists. You know, we love to do that. But thanks, Jay McNicholas. Thanks, JoJo out there. And thanks, Graham Ganson, Morbus Mabus. Everybody have a good weekend.
Stop it in to give us a little crap.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night. Take care, man. All right. Bye, everybody.